Hey everyone, this is Brainwaves, and in this video I'm going to show you 7 Ableton features that you need to know about. Let's start with audio to MIDI. So in Ableton you can convert a audio file to MIDI, and you can do it in various ways. For example, if you have a melody like this one, and you want to convert that to MIDI and get the notes out of it, you can right click and hit convert melody to new MIDI track. This is not like 100% accurate or perfect. And here you can see that I got almost all the notes, but not at the end. So let's see how this sounds. And then we're missing a little bit in here, but this does like a good enough job to like decipher a melody, to get the notes out of a melody. So let's hear it together. You can do the same with drums as well. So I have this drum looping here, and I can right click and hit convert drums to new MIDI track, and this is gonna create a new MIDI track with a drum rack, and you will get like the MIDI information. Obviously the samples in here are not like the best, but you're getting the drum pattern into the MIDI, so that can be really useful. You can even do it with harmony, so with chords, for example this. You can right click and hit convert harmony to new MIDI track, and once again you get a new MIDI track, this time with the harmony information. Again, it may not be completely perfect, but it does a pretty good job anyways. Another way that you can do this, if you already have like a lead that you want to use for this melody, like I have in here, you can just drag this and drop it into the MIDI track, and you put in here melody in this case, and again you get the melody already into the MIDI track that you want to use it. So number 2 is MIDI Capture. This one is a huge time saver. The way that it works is that, for example, let's say that you start playing a melody, and you forgot to hit record, or you just don't know how you did that melody or whatever, you can just click on the little button here, and now you get it in here. So that's, as I said, a huge time saver. There's been times that I maybe created a melody and I didn't know how I did it, and I was maybe just jamming, just, you know, playing some notes, and some happy accident happened. So having like this feature really saved me to, you know, get that MIDI information right away. Number 3, it's the beat warping modes. So in Ableton, when you have a audio sample that is warped, you have different warping modes. The one that I'm going to talk about is the beats one. This works really well with drum loops. You can put here beats. The main thing in here is to use this arrow mode. It's normally like this. You need to use this one, and then you can start playing with every mode and see what happens. So for example, I have it in transients here, and if I start messing with this value in here, you'll see how the beat behaves. Basically, since this is in transients, you're getting only like the beginning of every transient. That's why it sounds like very tight and very like minimal. You can also put it in like time modes in here. And yeah, you can get a lot of variation from your loops by doing that. I have another drum looping here that I'm gonna use as an example. So this is the way that it sounds normally. It's just a hat loop. And if I put it into beats mode and I start playing with this, you can get, like, as I said, cool variations. Alright, moving on, we have the insert and delete time feature in Ableton. So let's say that you want to get rid of this portion of the track and you want this to be the start point of your track. A really easy way to do that is just with the delete time feature. So you select the time that you want to delete and you go here, click on delete time or Ctrl+Shift+Delete. So that's pretty useful. Or let's say that this is your intro and you want to double the time of that intro, duplicate so the intro is twice as long. You can really easily go here and hit on duplicate time. And in this case, you inserted 2 more bars of the intro without having to manually move this and then moving this over and all that. So that's a pretty cool way to easily duplicate time. Or if, for example, you want a 2-bar section in between the intro and this harmony, you can go ahead and hit on insert silence or Ctrl+I, and then you have these 4 bars empty for you to do whatever you want in between these 2 sections. Number 5 would be time locators. This is a pretty visual, useful feature in Ableton. You can right click on the scrub area and hit on add locator, and you can put in here like breakdown, for example, if you want to indicate the arrangement of your song, or you can put notes in here like fix, harmony, or whatever you like. So yeah, that's a really nice way to look at the arrangement of your track or to know where you need to work on things or things like that. So yeah, it can have a lot of uses and it's a really visual way to not get lost in the arrangement view. Number 6 is the feature of scrolling through your audio and MIDI clips. So you can hit Ctrl+Shift and you get this hand in here and move, drag to the left or the right, and you can get in different positions of your sample in this case. This is very useful if you want to get creative and start like slicing and changing the position of things. And creating like new loops very easily. This is the way to do it. You can do the same with MIDI clips. I can go ahead and move around. And create new melodies just by doing that. So that's a huge one for me. I sometimes just start messing around with samples and loops and get like really cool happy accidents most of the time. Number 7 would be the collections browsing feature. So collections are like tags for different things. I have seen many uses of the collections. Right now what I do is I have one collection, the red collection for my favorite sounds, my blue collections for my favorite stock plugins or my most used stock plugins, this purple collection for my favorite third-party plugins. But you can do a lot of things with this. I've seen people that may be putting here like favorite drums, or maybe favorite kicks, favorite snares, favorite hi-hats, or they do like reverb and echo plugins, limiters and compressors. You can categorize this however you feel is the most useful to you, just to put something in the collection. If, for example, I want to put a audio effect like chorus on one collection, I just right click and hit the collection that I want to put it in. So for example, stock plugins. So now I don't need to go look for chorus every time. Like from this menu, I just go to my stock plugins collection and look for it in there. So it's a really nice workflow improvement. So all of these have helped me tremendously in my productions, and I hope they do the same for you. That's it for this one. Thanks a lot for watching. Please leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you around.